Here at Pro Football Weekly, we want to help you win your fantasy football leagues this season. That's why our PFW fantasy expert Mike Wilkening has some sleepers to look at the wide receiver position. These are some players that might be underdrafted. You should take a look at them in the later rounds. The first one, Titus Young in Detroit.
I love Titus Young. I think he's going to have the opportunity to have a very nice season in this Detroit offense. I think he's going to have lots of opportunities. Had about a half dozen touchdowns last year. I think he's only scratching the surface of what he's capable of. And again, in this offense where Calvin Johnson's going to get double teamed, this could be a guy that maybe approaches 1,000 yards, and he's going to be drafted as a number 4 receiver. To me, probably the biggest wide receiver sleeper available.
Yeah, can you imagine Young coming out of the slot or even on the outside with that speed to attack the middle of the field with Matthew Stafford at quarterback? He's got big potential there. Now let's go over to Philadelphia. DeSean Jackson, he gets the contract extension this offseason. Obviously, he's a name fantasy owners know well, but you think some people are kind of sleeping on him this draft time.
Yeah, I think it comes down to people making the decision that last year he disappointed. You know, fantasy owners are a sensitive lot. There are hurt feelings. A guy hurts you one year, you don't want to take him the next. I think DeSean Jackson could be a guy that maybe slides in some drafts for that reason. If that's the case, I'm going to take him in a lot of leagues because he's very talented, he's in a great offense, and he's got a ton of talent. So, I mean, it comes down to it. DeSean Jackson's someone that if he slides too much in drafts, you got to stop that slide.
Yeah, Jackson, all the talent in the world. There are a lot of weapons in Philadelphia, but he's still the guy that's going to put up some big plays every week. Now we're going over to Buffalo. Bills wide receiver Stevie Johnson, he kind of quieted the doubters in 2011, another 1,000-yard season, so he proved 2010 wasn't a fluke. Like DeSean Jackson, he gets that contract extension coming into this year, though he still doesn't have a very high draft stock. You think that he's a good sleeper to take a look at?
The reason I like him, back-to-back 1,000-yard season, so he's proven his quality. He's the clear number 1 target, as you know, in Buffalo, and I think he's got room to improve further, and he's the type of guy that maybe you draft him as a low-end sort of second receiver. He takes that leap forward to maybe being a number 1 guy. It's always been maybe that next step in terms of consistency with Stevie Johnson. I think he's ready to take that step, and to me, he's a guy that could be a little bit undervalued.
The Bills still looking for that number 2 receiver on the outside to complement Stevie Johnson. If Ryan Fitzpatrick throws like he did at the beginning of that season, Stevie Johnson could have another big year. Check out all our fantasy rankings, stats, analysis, and more. Head to the website at ProFootballWeekly.com.